It's brave to be a nomad. And the Gaudy bus breaks down. All right, let's start with Cathie. Changes lanes. All right, she has been in Quartzsite and she's getting ready to leave. So she is giving her opinions on her stay. She says that everyone was kind and she found it quite enjoyable and the people to be nice. And yeah, that's probably pretty true. Well, one thing I will say that females are treated a little bit different. Plus, I'm sure she didn't hang out with, the sketchy crowd. So it's like anywhere. I always say it. It's just like any neighborhood. If you live in a place, you don't go to that neighborhood, or you definitely don't go to that neighborhood after dark and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you hang with the wrong crowd in the wrong areas, I'm sure you're going to have issues. But if you don't, you're not going to. So yeah, Quartzsite's probably just like any other place in any other community. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. She gives her take, like I said, and she talks about the changing weather and how it's nice and hot, and then all of a sudden it's cold at night, and then it's windy and the dust flying, and so she talks about all that and a whole lot of other stuff. So if you're interested in hearing what Cathie has to say about her stay in Quartzsite and her views, going over and check it out. All right, as I continue to follow Bunny and her little shuttle build, she is doing little bibs and bobs again. She addresses the the tire situation. She found that the little build is more than she expected it was going to be. And like I said, she talked about the getting the tire. You figure you just call up, say I need this, and ta-da, boom, Bob's your uncle. But no, she said it's pretty hard to find certain things for older and odd vehicles. So like I said, if she's having issues with the little shuttle, could you imagine trying to find something for an old school bus or something like that? So yeah, and again, she says it's a little bit more than she thought it was going to be, and she's not doing some big, she's not in there building cabinets and hanging overhead cabinets and all that other stuff. She's kind of like this, putting things in place, and she already had her bed and everything. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. She said she is definitely learning patience. So go check out Bunny and follow her as she continues her shuttle build. All right, if you want to know what a guy living in a van over on the West Coast does, go over and check out Scott and follow him on a nice little rainy day. And it cleared up, so he got to go outside, but it was a little bit chilly. I'm sure it's warmer than it is here, but yeah. So yeah, Scott from Static Campervan. Nice little area. He always stays in some pretty cool spots when he goes along the coast. Really, really, really beautiful views. So go over and check out Scott, and definitely have a cup of coffee with him for sure. That's right, Scott from Static Campervan. All right, then we have a Canadian, Boomer, boondocking with Boomer. Well, actually, Boomer's the dog's name. His name is Lance. But boondocking with Boomer. It's a new video, but it's from last year when he was in Virginia. That's right. He was at Assateague, and he was checking out the ponies, and he thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, nice little video of his visit to Assateague, talking about when they run the ponies over to Chicateague and all that other good stuff, and showed you the horses. And yeah, pretty cool little video from Lance from Boondocking with a Boomer. All right, now we have the young lady I just talked about, new to me, and I talked about her to you, and that is Pamela Madore. I went over to see what she was up to, and she did a couple little videos about the nomads and the domiciles. She did one on Florida, and then one on South Dakota, and then now her latest is Leaving Everything Behind, Part 1. Yeah, excuse me. The part no one talks about. I didn't watch that one yet, but yeah, she talks about the other two, about the domicile. I did check those out, and yeah, if you've been following Nomads and you know all about that, how to set up this and get your mail and blah 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 blah, and the very popular places to set up domiciles and why. But yeah, we're kind of used to all that. But she goes through it again. So if you're interested in that, go over and check her out for sure. All right, now we got some Tater news we'll talk about real quick. He says that his bus, the Gaudy bus, it broke down. Said lost all the coolant. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just, to me, again, that overheating issue from day one, from the very first day he got it, that really kind of went unaddressed, kind of threw some Band-Aids on it and kind of guessed and everything, but really never addressed the issue. And it's coming back to bite him in the ass. It's just like when I was talking about Bunny, when she got her shuttle, what's the first thing she did? She took it to a mechanic and said, here, go over it, plug it in. Is there any error codes? Is this? Look underneath. How's the tie rod? And all that good stuff. They went over the whole thing and made sure it was mechanically sound before she did one single thing. But Tater, no, he drives it, bitches about the overheating, drives it, bitches about the overheating, and then starts building it, and then drives and bitches about the overheating, and now it's doing something again. So according to him, it lost all of the coolant. So we'll wait to see the video on that. He also says, his claim is that in 3 days, he's had 11 trespassers. Apparently, he has these folks on camera, and they're, knocking on the door, standing on his little porch there. So my question is, these trespassers, these horrible people, do you think, I don't know, it's just me, just thinking out loud, but if you're a troll or a hater, are you going to sneak onto his land, walk through all the mud, and then walk up and knock on the door? So if he does have 11 trespassers, it's either his fans or the sheriff. Just my opinion.
That's my opinion!
And no. I don't want to hear nothing from anybody. I did not post anybody's address. I did not post his lot number, nothing. I don't even know his address. I don't care. I did not post it. I did not say go. I don't really care. It's dumb. Maybe if he wouldn't be doing drone shots and explaining exactly turn by turn directions, maybe people wouldn't know. Or if he didn't dare people to find his LLC and the land that he bought and this and that, maybe they wouldn't have searched so hard. It's all his own doing. So if you want to come over and point your fingers at me, go right ahead, but you're barking up the wrong motherfucking tree. Now, before we get off the Eric subject and move along here, I do want to address something real quick, and that is his little stay where he's out there doing his little thing, golf and everything. Let's talk about a little bit about this and where Eric and Diana were and how it all came to be. So if you remember when Diana left Cali and she was going around and she stopped and she posted, I talked about it, and she was in this hot tub and they were having a great old time and yada, yada, yada. And everybody was saying, well, why is she, it was a little bit delayed on her travels. It didn't match up timeline wise, but anyway, that was her friend. And it's, Tater claims it's his friend. I guess that's friends through, association, I guess. But it's really Diana's friend. And this lady, she actually did pop up, and she was in a couple of Tater's videos. And one of them was when Tater and Diana went to Los Algodones. Yeah, she was in that video and all the other stuff. And this lady, she's dating a millionaire, and that's how they all get to stay and go golfing and doing all this other stuff. And so Tater's, walking around, and he's going to make you believe that everything is happy and life is so good. And yeah, I don't have any cares or problems. And he's smiling and look, I'm golfing and I'm doing this. And he didn't pay for none of it. He's out running around putting on a happy face and playing the part. But much like Sarasota Tim, you can go out and you can, buy a polo shirt and put it on and go out on the golf course, but that doesn't make you upper class at all. Yeah, speaking of that, did you notice Tater's little fancy polo shirt there? Yeah, he broke out the new stuff. I wonder if that's his Sunday best from when him and Diana go into church. All right, so now let's go with the comment of the day. Today's comment is, get your own content. Stop talking about people doing something you are afraid to do. Well, let's see. Afraid to do. I don't know. Is that insinuating that it's brave? It's brave. That's right. So throwing your hands up, selling everything, and moving into a vehicle. How is that brave? What's so brave about it? Now, you may go ahead and say, well, we're roughing it, and we're living on the road, and you got to be brave to do that. Is living in the streets under a tarp brave? Well, when someone starts talking about the wheeled wonders and any kind of critique or criticism, they always throw this little statement in your face every single time. Some people didn't choose this lifestyle. It chose them. They had no other opportunities or choices, and they were forced to live in their vehicle. So, again, I say, is being homeless brave? Because that's what you're describing. Someone who is forced out of their home because they can't afford this, they can't afford that. They're forced to live in a vehicle because now they have no home. So again, is homelessness brave? Now, when I'm saying all this stuff, I'm not talking about old people like me, older folks who, again, lived their life doing whatever, and they chose to go, again, some of those, they didn't choose that, they were forced to. But older people that actually had their job, they got their pension, their Social Security, everything, their kids are grown, they took care of things, and they decide they're going to go travel. I'm not talking about those folks, because they usually just go and mind their own business. They're not out here saying, burr, 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 to sell everything, and this is the life, and you're not brave enough to do it. No, they're doing what they want to do because they took care of things. But aside from that, let's get away from this homeless thing, and let's go the other way. Is it really brave to live in a Class A or a fifth wheel with a master bedroom, 2 bathrooms, a fireplace, and a kitchen island? Is it brave to go buy a $90,000 truck that can pull your $200,000 fifth wheel toy hauler with a back porch? Is that really brave? What's so brave about it? I'm sure there's some that, that think that being brave is paying a mortgage, being responsible and raising a family, not just abandoning everything and running off to the fucking desert. Some may think it's brave to provide for your children, to give them a stable environment to grow up in and a place to have friends. Yeah, some may think that that's brave and selfless because they put their own wants and needs aside so their children and their family can flourish. Maybe that's brave to some people. And if you want to think it's brave to live in a vehicle, well, how about being on the road with a visually impaired guy with no license driving a big Class A? There, that's brave. That's real brave. You want me to be brave and go live in a vehicle? How am I going to do it, you jackass? Come on, folks. Let's face it. The wheeled wonders. The bravest things they do is they play with their own shit and then go eat a sandwich.
I'm BlindViews, and that's the way I see it. No, wait, that's not my tagline.
What we do here is go back.